It's the Valleycast.
All right. Well,
is that it?
Yep.
That's the intro.
I wanted
that's
so
not
much. I wanted about 2 minutes more of it.
Yeah, that's not enough time for our animated logo to actually play
It's
for the
longer
video
than our
version.
animated
Yeah.
logo.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like
great.
up the speed to
No,
300%.
we have to leave it. Yeah, it's just a dead silence. Like just us going.
This was submitted by Emily UZB on the subreddit r/the Valleyfolk, reddit.com/r/the Valleyfolk.
Emily spent 3 weeks on that.
Thank you, Emily.
Fun fact.
It's been
Very funny.
It's called the Valleycast intro song, and the comment, the only comment on it on the subreddit is "Thanks, I hate it."
That's supportive.
Oh, also, I did notice really quick. I want to say this to a lot of people. Let's play this one more time. Actually,
It's the Valleycast.
There's like 3 cuts that she had to make.
and then there's like a shit ton of blank space.
Nice.
And there was also another submission for a Valleycast intro that I'll play another time. But they also informed me that there is a ton of extra space on the end of it, because what's been happening is SoundCloud sucks.
Okay.
And whenever I play a SoundCloud song on here, we're just listening to it and enjoying it. It just auto plays to like whatever the next song is. And so we'll hear like a really cool intro, and then all of a sudden it's just like some other song starts and it just like kills the flow and it sucks.
Speaks to how good the actual intros are, though, because it means that we're all getting so into the moment that you just lose track of like.
Yeah, we just.
You're listening.
Yeah. Well, that's what we want.
Yeah,
it's our
it's
first time hearing these intros. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am just literally going to the subreddit and just going, oh, there's a song, and then I just hit play on it. I do not review it. I don't listen. I mean, if it's too long, I won't play it. But
that'd be a challenge to everyone. He doesn't listen to it beforehand. So
I certainly don't. I guess
audible.
shit.
Well, that's the last time you don't listen to it.
Guys.
Well, it's a good thing none of this is live.
We just became alt-right sympathizers.
But here's the thing. So in another funny kind of instance, the reason why I bring up that people have been adding a lot of space to the end of their songs now, which I appreciate, a user has shown a step-by-step diagram on how to turn off autoplay on SoundCloud. So I now have that ability, and I'm going to do it right now, thanks to this user named Dries0032 on Reddit.
Well, guys, while Steve is doing that, first of all, welcome to the Valleycast. This is the premier podcast from the Valleyfolk. We have a very special guest with us today. This is Joshua Jovenshire. Am I saying everything right there?
Joshua Jovenshire, yes. Sometimes Joven, sometimes Jovenshire, but all of those things are correct.
What does your mother call you?
Jovi?
Not enough, actually.
Did she call you son of a bitch?
Oh, the love of a mother. This is a.
Oh man, that gets funnier each time.
Yeah, it's
This
nice.
is a freewheeling podcast. We all bring different topics to the table, and we always start with an intro that is made by one of our lovely audience members. We have an announcement. We have a show on December 16th. Tickets are going
exactly
very
a
fast.
month.
Exactly 1 month from right now.
And we have nothing planned.
We have nothing planned.
We haven't even talked about what we're going to do at all.
But that's how
magic
Hey,
is.
that's showbiz.
Name anything we planned like a month ahead.
Yeah.
The Wes Anderson video was one of
the most planned video we've done.
the
And we all
closest.
hated how planned it had to be.
We were like,
and how long it took to make.
third day of shooting.
And then we put it up on the internet, and people are like, "This is the Valley Folk," and we're like, "Fuck!
Why
didn't you like our easy shit?"
There is something about best laid plans, something.
Yeah, I don't know.
The audience
Don't look
is
a
gonna
gift
eat it up.
plan in the mouth.
Best laid
That
plans
said-
are tough when people want a video every damn day.
I know, it's a lot. Listen, guys, enough of us complaining, though. We're going to New York. We're going to have a great time. It's a holiday good time. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. There's going to be at least stand-up. There's going to be us hanging out with you afterward. Maybe we go out.
At least.
Oh, I don't want to speak
And
for you guys.
not stand-up comedy. They will stand up in front of you and not know what to say or
We're
do.
gonna stand. Yeah.
I will make eye contact with you. I won't say any jokes.
That's worth
but yeah, I know I'm doing that. You guys will do your own thing. We'll do music. It's going to be all sorts of fun. But go to Ticketfly now and punch in Valleyfolk and get it. If you're a patron at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk, you got a discount. For
You know how
20%
to get that.
But go get tickets now because it's at the Bell House in Brooklyn, and we're going to have a gosh darn blast. And I can't wait.
And also, I know that people say this as a tactic to get you to buy tickets, but it's actually running out. Like, where they're almost sold out of all the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
a real thing.
Hey,
Now,
Steve, good tactic, buddy.
yeah,
thanks,
great
That was
covert
super
tactic.
Also,
It's also a tactic to say that it's a tactic.
we
Yeah,
we
man.
have talked about this a lot, and Elliot just kind of mentioned it, but I do want to reiterate that whenever we do a live show, or whenever we go to a different part of the country or a different part of the world as the Valley folk, if we're there to appear and do some sort of live thing or whatever, we will always look for a karaoke place
Yeah.
afterwards.
It's our after show.
And have like a meetup / karaoke jam where anyone is welcome to come. So it's like, let's say you didn't have enough money to come see our show or whatever, and that's or something's happened and you couldn't make it to our show. Just know that we'll always do a thing afterwards where we'll all have a blast at a karaoke
We
bar.
will always
And-
try.
We'll
And
try,
as someone
yeah.
that has seen you
Yeah.
guys actually do karaoke, that is a treat.
It's
Oh, thanks,
amazing.
Jeff.
That
It's
is
Evan.
unbelievable.
literally
Yeah.
some of the best karaoke.
Thanks,
that could happen.
Jubs.
Hey, man, that was great.
We,
Thank you for coming today.
thank
well,
you.
if
Thank
you
you,
want
thank
to give
you,
a
thank you.
call out to where people can find you, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, okay.
Thanks for being here, dude.
you did what we
thanks.
needed
I did,
to
I
do.
did the
Job.
thing.
All right.
Okay.
I did want to say though, the last time we did our karaoke jam in Canada, the director of It and It 2 showed up,
Dude, and Steve Harrington.
and Steve Harrington from Stranger Things,
Randomly,
and
or
his
as a
famous
fan?
girlfriend.
Randomly.
Well,
Well, kind
sort of. It was
sort
by,
of random.
the Stranger Things guy was by chance, I think.
no.
No, I think it was all
He
all
was
connected
there-
through Nicholas Hamilton.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Hamilton
that
plays
musical.
the bully in in It,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a friend of ours. And they were shooting It 2 while we were there for Buffer Festival, and so the director Andy Muschietti was there too.
Awesome.
And so
I
So what
fangirled
you're
real
saying
hard. I
is
haven't-
celebrities will show up to your karaoke.
Yeah,
night.
so
just so you
Absolutely.
know.
Go.
They
Yeah.
will also do Rocky Horror Picture karaoke.
yeah, well, Andy did. I
Yeah.
have footage of him doing "Sweet Transvestite,"
Yeah.
which is like
We guarantee that the
He was
director of It will be there.
every time.
Okay. We usually do housekeeping. The only housekeeping we have real quick is Joven. Where do you come from? Really quick. You don't have to talk.
Let's
about
talk
it.
about
I'm sure you're
SMOSH.
talking all the time. What's your background for people that don't know, and then we'll jump in.
I was on a channel
happened?
called SMOSH Games for 6 years, but I also run my own channel called the Jovenshire, where I talk about all things geek culture, and did that for many, many, many years. And now I'm here with you guys because you're awesome.
And what was that cool reality show that you were on?
Oh,
right before
back in
Smosh
2012. I was on a show called King of the Nerds.
Yes,
I,
he was.
Oh, you were on that show?
I was the bad guy on King of the Nerds.
Whoa.
And that is
Games? How cool is that?
to be the bad guy in a reality show is one of the greatest things to say, and also one of the most embarrassing things to say.
What was the nerd show where they were like
I can top it.
hooking up people? Where they were trying to hook up people?
Oh,
It was like
the Beauty and the Geek.
Beauty and the Geek.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I got all the way through to like a second.
you were almost
callback.
on it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Steve.
Yeah, I was driving my
How
Slusho
different life
car
could've been.
around Culver City, and literally this woman pulls up to me and she's like, "What is your car?" And I was like, "I'm a nerd." And she's like, "Here's my phone number. Call me. We're looking for people to be on our show." And I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah." And so I called them and talked to them, and I got all the way to a second interview with them. I went to their offices, and they were like, "You're going to live in this place for a month, blah, 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 blah." There was like all this shit. And they're like, "By the way, we heard that you're married." Like, and I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Are you okay with pretending you're not?" And I
That's
was
so
like,
funny.
"Oh my fucking god!" So
That's
I'd have
so
like,
reality.
What was your answer?
I had this big talk with Sarah about it, and I was like, "I don't want to be a reality TV guy.
Yeah,
like, I just didn't want to do that." So I was like, and also would have been like really, I mean, people
The
would have
pay's
found
not
out.
good, yeah.
And people would have found out.
100% it
And
comes
how
up.
fucked up would that be?
Yeah.
Like the guy that's hooking up with a girl on this show is married. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just
weird.
didn't do it.
Well, thank you for coming, Joven. This will
I'm
be
glad to be
fun.
here.
Let's jump into some topics.
Great.
Yeah.
Joven, are you wearing a shirt from Comic-Con?
I am wearing
Yeah.
a Comic-Con shirt.
I remember that
Yeah,
party.
I think it was a Nerdist.
It was the
party.
Nerdist party, yeah.
And I am normally anti-swag because I have none, and also I don't like junk.
But that was cool.
It was
swag.
just a nice shirt, and the purple makes my skin look like a good color.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a good color on you with the
Thank you,
white
with the white,
overshirt.
yeah.
I like it.
What's really funny is I put that shirt on, I was like, nobody will notice that.
No, I
So I even
noticed
looked
because
at the logo, and I'm like, nah, we good.
And it is a very like ubiquitous. Well, it's kind of like ominous. Is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say. It's an ominous because you're like, I don't know what that
Ambiguous.
is. Ambiguous. Yeah,
Ambiguous.
that's the word.
Slightly ominous.
But I actually went to that party
Omnipotent.
too, and
Very omnipotent
what's
shirt.
happening on his shirt actually happened.
Yeah, there was a
the
robot
Lost
that
in
kind of
Space
DJ'd.
robot was a DJ, and actually inside the
cool.
costume was Chris Hardwick.
Oh, really?
Really?
Nope.
No.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
This brings up an interesting subject that I'm
boy.
curious to know y'all's feelings. I think I know yours, Joe. I personally wear an inordinate amount of YouTuber clothing because when I get it, I wear it and I don't care. And so it's getting to a point now where it's like I will be wearing, it'll be like one day and I'll be wearing a Valley Folk hoodie and then Sugar Pine 7 socks and then like a Good Mythical Morning shirt. And yeah, and then I have these black sweaters, these black pullovers. One's from Jeffrey from Rooster Teeth, Jeff, whatever. I've never
Jeff?
never met him. Seems like a great guy. Got his merch, super comfortable sweater. I wear an Instagram sweater. It's like and then I wear YouTube socks constantly. These are my favorite pairs of socks.
You got those YouTube tube socks?
Yeah, the white ones. They're amazing.
I haven't.
And, like,
I haven't even put them on yet.
Yeah, it sucks
They're very
because like
comfortable. Some
I
of them
feel,
are very comfortable.
Oh, the YouTube hoodie, the
sweater?
creator hoodie. Yeah,
I hate the word that. I hate the fact that the word creator
it's
is on
super
it.
cheesy, but it's so comfortable.
But it's so comfy.
What about those sandals?
Very
the creator
comfortable.
sandals.
So I
Love
made fun
the
of
Unbelievably
those so
comfortable.
bad when I got those, and then I was like, wait a second.
They're so
I
great.
wear them every single
Yeah.
day.
They're so
amazing.
comfortable, and
Yeah.
also the robe,
The robe is
YouTube
great.
robe.
I'm now a robe guy.
That's
The
because-
robe was great. I
My
left-
girlfriend just wears that.
The
all
robe
the
is
time.
Dump Nasty's costume.
Did you guys get the at VidCon this year the Twitter sweater? That is like having a cloud wrapped around you.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Get
I
on
did
that.
not get a
I
Twitter
finally
sweater.
put it on because it got, we're in the valley and it doesn't get cold here even in
Was
the
that where they
winter.
were like putting laser
Yeah.
things on it?
Yeah, I had a photo up on YouTube, Instagram.com/the Jovenshire, and it's me with like the Jovenshire on the sleeve, and it's
Nice.
just it's a cloud. And
That's great,
it
man.
hugs me.
It's so nice. Yeah, these companies invest a lot of money in
happening,
like
Joe?
the quality of the clothing.
I know what you're talking about now, and I'm not gonna say the person's name that made the choice. So what Joven's talking about is there was this swag booth backstage at VidCon, and they would give you this Twitter sweater, and they were doing laser etching.
I
it.
thought
Wait,
it was
is
just
that what
long.
you're talking
I thought it was
about?
long
Yeah.
sleeve
Oh,
shirt.
yes.
the long sleeve shirt.
You could laser
oh,
etch.
they had sweaters also.
Yeah, so you could
Oh.
laser sketch anything you wanted onto it, any phrase. An
Yeah, and
emoji.
they would literally put anything
They-
you wanted.
they-
I remember the person that did this was a little embarrassed, so I'm not going to say the name, but it was really funny. We all had a really good laugh at it. But the laser etching that this person got was "Karate is gay."
Yeah. I think we can say his name. I really
He's
think
not
we can say it.
embarrassed.
He's not embarrassed at all. Because I
was
asked
so
him,
funny.
I was like, "Are you sure you're really gonna put that?" Like, I was like, "At VidCon, you're gonna put that on there?" And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Karate's gay."
Yeah, it's like it's
There's no-
2016. Karate's gay.
It was
that's
just so
Karate is gay.
funny. Oh man,
I put,
such a
I put-
1990s dumb joke.
Mine said "Revenge Body" because my ex-wife went on a reality show
Yeah,
called
that's
"Revenge
good.
Body." That was a good, but I
Mine
never
said,
wore it.
Mine
Yeah.
said sad bod.
Sad bod's good.
Yeah.
Sadbot's good. Sadbot's actually really good.
Yeah,
But do you wear it?
thanks.
You wear the Twitter?
I finally wore the Twitter sweatshirt, and it's a hoodie and everything, and only because it was kind of windy outside. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this on, and I didn't take it off all day.
It's
Wow.
amazing. Yeah, and I
'Cause
feel
you
like a
couldn't.
nerd, but
It was a
so
curse on
comfortable.
it. It's a
Yeah.
curse.
Do you wear your clothes, Joe?
Do I wear? Yeah,
This is my topic.
Do you wear clothes, Joe?
Sure, I love clothes.
So, Joe,
Those
do
are
you
nice.
wear clothes?
Every once in a while, I'll wake up in the morning, and it's kind of a hard decision. It's like, do I or don't I? And I usually do.
Yeah.
Dude, we were
Interesting.
just talking about this. I've gotten into wearing pajamas like a 10-year-old. I wear pajama bottoms and
Yeah, it's
socks
so
because
weird.
of me undies.
It's very strange.
Interesting.
But I did.
What do you
I
mean
did-
it's very strange?
Well,
Do you
it's
mean-
strange to get into pajamas.
Changing my sleeping style is definitely a significant thing, but it's so comfortable.
When you say pajamas, do you mean like this is my nighttime
like
attire, or is
Ebenezer
it
Scrooge with a
like,
sleeping
like
cap.
It's a
giant
onesie.
oversized shirt?
It's a onesie with a little trapdoor in
These
case I
are
need to
my-
go peep it.
Yeah, these are my comfies. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
the
have
comfies.
comfies.
Well,
They
I know
don't
what
even
you're-
have holes for my hands. It ends in little mittens.
I know what you're talking about, and I did actually finally wear the MeUndies pants, and they're wonderful.
Yeah, I mean it's
they're
great.
they're positively the most comfortable
I
thing.
always
I've
just
ever
like
worn.
their name a lot.
I
I know that
know.
they're very comfortable, but I like their names. Every
Very
time someone
British.
says me undies, I want to be like me Jane.
Yeah,
MeUndies
I just
to me.
want to say, I imagine it is just some type of like creature that can't speak English. It just goes MeUndies. These are MeUndies.
To answer your question, Elliot, I will wear the stuff, and I've actually made I've made the conscious decision back in the day to be like, if I'm gonna wear stuff, I want to support people that are doing cool things. And so I've been like, I want to go out and buy everybody's thing who I really like. So I want to wear a Rhett and Link swag, or Nathan Zed and people like that. And I make the decision to do it, but then I never follow through. I never actually go buy the stuff, which sucks, and that's shitty. As far as the YouTube and Twitter swag and stuff like that, I'll wear it because it's comfy, but it is cheesy. I really do hate the words creator. I hate the words. I hate the word influencer. 'cause
Influencer is one of the worst things that could have ever happened to our industry.
I just think it
I
diminishes
don't know
what
why-
these people are. A lot of really
100%.
good people are
It turns
doing.
us into a commercial, and Though that might be how I get paid sometimes. That's not my day to day.
And some people are influencers. Some people like that, and that's kind of what they're striving for. But I think most people that are getting pinned under that description, they do so much more, and that's not what they're about. And I think it diminishes.
What do you think they should be called?
Because
influencer
is pretentious.
Influencer is definitely like an internal marketing term that just like slipped out and now people just use it. So what is it really? Like we could take it back.
Creator is better than influencer.
Yeah.
It's a weird all.
Creator is the way to go.
YouTubers were
Creator is the way to go. Whether you feel like you feel negatively about people.
personality.
Oh, I don't like that either.
Really?
I'm trying to think what encompasses though. Like you have to find
That's
where
the
the
thing, I feel like-
encompasses both the basics and the artist.
I
Because there's
feel
so
like-
many are actual basic influencers, and that they are influencers.
Yeah.
Like that's a perfect word.
Well,
for
but the
them.
thing is like, yeah, we are influencers.
We do influence.
We are.
We do.
We just are, according to like marketing
VR.
Right, but
companies.
so is
We
a-
do lots
but-
of
we
things.
are
so is
VR.
but so is a stand-up comedian, and so is a TV actor. And
Yes,
an actor.
yeah,
Everybody's
exactly.
an influencer.
Yeah.
So I think it's putting somebody down to their most basic definition, and it's not.
Well, it's just numbers. It's
So-
like, oh, you have numbers. This is what you are.
I
and
mean,
it
I
confuses
don't
you.
mind
like
it
it.
because I don't mind it because I
Mike
don't let
Falzone.
this kind of name define
Well, sure.
anything about who I am. It's like if they want to say I'm an influencer, fine, call me a fucking influencer. I don't care because it's like at the end of the day, I'm just like I'm gonna go to your event and have a good time if it's a good event, and then maybe get paid even, which is great. It's like call me whatever you want if you're gonna be paying me. You know,
well,
You're a
I just
professional
don't like
is an
a
influencer.
whore. That's what you are.
we are. We are. We
That
actually
we are.
just all are.
You
like
have
whether
to
we
be.
like it or
If
not.
You, if
And-
you want to be an artist and live the fun, like make cool shit, it's
Yeah.
you have to do shit sometimes. That's like
I
eh.
suppose it's up to the influencer
Well, there
or the
just used to
creator to
be-
define what they are. Like
there-
Elliot's a stand-up. He's a comedian.
I would.
consider him a
I
comedian.
can say comedian.
I
can-
would like to consider I think I would put myself in comedian.
you could say you're a comedian. Yeah, I could say I'm a comedian.
Actually, I say entertainer, which is just as basic, but I like it better than influencer.
I mean, I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, there used to be this whole thing about like selling out is so dumb and like, it's so like why sell out and things like that. But it's like really selling out is like kind of par for the
Well,
course
it's paying
if you
the bills.
Yeah.
if you're in that industry that like where selling out is a possibility, you know, like
Mike Birbiglia talks about how like basically when you guffaw at like the amount of money. So for example, say it's the social influencers, they're getting paid like all this money or whatever for a post or something. He was like, wasn't referring to that, but I think it applies. He was saying like it's basically pro baseball and you get a few seasons where you're making a lot of money, or pro football or something. And it's like you have this little window,
got your window
where you
of-
have
yeah.
to take all the money you can get and all the stability you can get, because that stuff's got to stretch for several decades, because
That's your retirement.
the lifespan of an entertainer.
And then
I mean, we
invest it somehow.
yeah, like the fact that
Bitcoin.
we're still doing what we're doing is like huge, because I mean we're going on. I mean, Joe, you're going on what, 10 years
Shut up.
as an actual as an actual entertainer. That's a compliment, because you're sitting there going like, you know, you've survived more than most artists in this world, and you're still being able to make comedy. And if you have to take some money to do that, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I think there's been a change. There's definitely been a shift, and I've read a couple articles about it. Like when YouTube first started, and I think this was for TV actors and movie actors as well, selling out was looked at as the worst thing. When you
Yeah.
did a brand deal as a YouTuber, you were
There was a big
you were
point
a
in time where
piece of
brand
shit.
deals were like the worst thing.
Yeah, and now
well, because it was like soulless, and you couldn't inject your personality into it, and like nowadays is like you can they want you to inject your personality into those.
well,
things.
and I also think the audience has evolved as well. The audience
Yeah, totally.
realizes they're not just a passive audience anymore looking to be entertained. They're a lot of them are striving to be this, but a lot of them understand the business and they understand the industry because it's just there, and it's because the platform has talked about it so openly. So when you have this like personality-based platform that's telling the audience everything, they get it over time.
yeah,
And
but
now,
it is definitely because it's done in a way that like
Sure.
I mean, a good ad is a good ad.
but the audience
you know?
gets it now, and I've seen things where I've seen articles that have said kids are striving to be YouTubers, and they say things like, I want to be a YouTuber and get my first brand deal. Like they just get it, and it's so ubiquitous.
Well, it's kind of like football
connected.
players and basketball players back in the day would be on the box of Wheaties
or
and
get
shit.
that
Like
Nike deal.
there were kids that were like, I want to be on a box of Wheaties. I want to be on a
Joven was the first YouTuber on a Wheaties box.
right, which is really cool.
I literally had to stop and think. I was like, "Is that true? Did I
You were like, maybe.
That is the kind of random bullshit that's like you'd forget, but
But
it
I
is
mean,
really
these types
significant.
of these types of things where like you're a sponsored person is not necessarily a new thing, a new idea. I mean, NASCAR did it for century. I mean, not centuries.
I don't
they did
think-
it for forever.
Centuries, yes. Back in the 1800s when they had the wagon races.
Back when the Centurions put their Goodyear stickers on their carriages.
Well, it is interesting because yes, I think the audience has become more okay with the fact that influencers need to get paid and keep the bills paid and keep the lights on. But also, as a society, we are still the most against commercials, and nobody wants to be marketed to. If they get an extra commercial and it goes 32 seconds versus 30 seconds, they are the angriest people. So we're
Yeah.
still in a place where nobody wants to be a number, nobody wants to be marketed to, but they also understand like, oh, all right,
Yeah,
this
totally.
this IG post
They
is going
get
to be a brand deal.
But
Sure.
also, it's like, I mean, Skittles kind of like changed commercials like way back in the day when Skittles started to do like really weird kind of like,
Tim and Eric YouTube type.
well, Tim and Eric
commercials.
yes, Tim and Eric
Yeah.
now, but it was even before Tim and Eric
Yeah.
when they were doing things like that, and then Old Spice did like the stuff with
it almost went viral. Mustafa?
yeah, or whoever, I don't remember, but
Yeah.
but like
Oh
there's
the actor. Yeah.
but there's so many like companies that just decided to kind of just go like, all right, well, let's just like make like, what's that company that does
Wait, hold up. I don't think his name's Mustafa. That's Simba's dad.
No.
That's Mufasa.
Yeah, it's Mufasa joke.
Is it Mu?
I was just
Mustafa.
thinking
Yeah.
he was thinking of a thing that I wasn't thinking of. And I
Yeah.
was like, sure, maybe that's what it is.
I forget his name. I feel bad.
He really wanted to be Luke Cage for a while.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Anyway, but there, all these companies started to kind of like loosen up on kind of how
Yeah.
their brand is represented, and I feel like that really changed the tide for like being able to like make a branded piece of content, because then you could just
look
kind of
at
do funny
Wendy's.
shit.
Look at Wendy's 100%.
Or what's like progressive? What's the
Yeah.
What's the one where they're like the pigs fly, and then they did like all those weird
Oh, yeah,
commercials
that
where
is
it was
progressive.
like was it progressive? It
Wait.
was like
They're
it
all
was-
doing cool.
It was some
stuff
insurance
now.
company that
But
did like really weird things, and you're like, holy shit, this is like, how are they doing this?
I think though it still goes back to the point that Joven and Joe were saying, which is that the audience has become, because of the internet, the audience is so smart that it's like now big brands are sensing that, and they can't get away with the same commercial format that they were able to get away with for
Which
like
is funny
7
because if
years.
you watch television, which I say that it feels like such a foreign thing, but anytime I'm traveling, I'm stuck in a hotel and I'll see commercials. Oh my God, they're the worst thing in the
It's
They
world.
so
haven't
different.
changed. Yeah, there's the exact
too many
same. It's
commercials.
crazy.
They're way
a
too
television
long.
program is swimming in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have like, I haven't had broadcast television in my home for like over 10 years.
Yeah,
so like
good.
when I go to a,
Dude, I just got it. I've been watching it,
Yeah.
and I'll switch back and forth between
it's so
Fox
different.
and
It's a
CNN.
different experience.
It's the commercials on Fox News are worth watching. It's not worth it, but it's,
Well, just for the yeah.
but
oh, just
give
for
it
the
a go.
joke factor.
It's,
Yeah.
The commercials are literally like, I mean, you talk about like advertising and the power it has on us. The commercials are like, you're gonna die. Someone's gonna break into your house. You need your bone marrow is going away. Do you have
Yeah.
mesothelioma? Like everything
Yeah.
is like.
Do you get
doomsday.
headaches? You might have cancer. Take
Exactly.
this
Yes.
Wait a
It's
second.
all fear based. It's like, here's your security system. What happens if mom falls? Like, it's all this like terrible, like something terrible's about to happen.
It's like,
to you.
sit back, put your finger on your neck. Do you feel
Yeah.
a pulse? You could die tomorrow.
Basically, yeah.
Buy
it's
Kleenex.
super cheesy. Oh man, I want to like record. I'm gonna record one at some point.
I think there's one other
sense, yeah.
one other factor that weighs into all of this, and it's that what we're in now, the pool of creation and the pool of the internet and all that, is that there is just so much. And I think back in 2006, when it was like, fuck you for doing a brand deal, it was also like, it was because of one of 5 videos that somebody would put out in a month span. But now it's like people are putting out so much crap.
Yeah.
One of 30 might have a brand deal with it. And then if it is somebody that is doing less content, there's still so much crap you're watching that you get distracted by the next thing so quick. Who cares?
I've
Who
also
cares?
seen like creators, certain people in the industry who do integrations in a way that are like they own it and they like put thought behind it for their specific audience, and they're like some influencers are inadvertently becoming almost ad execs in their own way because they understand the audience so much.
Yeah.
I think that's very cool.
And it's super smart too, because if you can't retire on YouTube one day, that is an easy step to go to another company where it's like, yes,
genius.
I've worked with X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah.
We've made X amount of dollars, and it's great. Now you have more of a career, which I think is really important for because I don't think kids understand that. Obviously, that because everyone's like, I want to be a YouTuber. I'm like, first of all, there might be a YouTube. Second of all,
Yeah,
learn
we'll
to
see.
find out what the next step is after that, though.
Yeah,
Yep.
really think ahead and
Well, it's
start
interesting
planning.
because the movie industry and the television industry, like way back in the day, you used to be able to just like walk up to a studio and be like, I'm an actor, and they'd be like, "You're in our picture." Or, like they'd be like, "Come on in," or
Dude,
it's like,
I think my dad still thinks that. One time he said I looked like Ashton Kutcher, and so I should go walk around the lot, and they'd hire me as his little
Yeah.
My
brother.
dad used to do that too.
Yeah, I was like, Dad, that's not.
That's
I was like,
so
there's at least
funny.
there's
Yeah.
at least 2 more steps before that.
that's the thing. But it's like, you used,
Get
like,
an Ashton Kutcher wig.
but like
Yeah.
you really used to be able
And
to do
take a
that.
lift
And
down
that's
there.
kinda it. I can't think of another. I'm sure there's other.
Like back when studios would like buy celebrities to like live in on their lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they would, like
Yeah.
it, like
It
you
was servitude.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you could literally just walk into a studio and be like, "I've got the look," and if you had it, they'd put you in a movie or something. And
Wait.
you know, I think that
Stop. Say that again, but say it even more old timey.
and look this way. I've got the look. Find your light.
You're hired.
And then that grew into a harder thing. But you know, even before YouTube, people were striving to go to Hollywood and live the American dream and become a big star, an actor, or a football player, or whatever, what have you. And I think YouTube definitely did the exact same thing, but for you in your home, like you don't even need to leave your fucking home. You can turn your camera on your computer, and you could be a star and make millions of dollars or whatever. And but
It was also because people were breaking down the fourth wall and they felt very connected, so they felt
you
like
were-
they were friends.
Right.
And then the moment you kind of betray that relationship with an ad, it's like, what is this? I'm
Yeah.
watching this because I don't want to watch television.
Yeah,
Right.
it's almost like a "Don't you know I know you?" Like, why are you
Yeah.
not talking to me as me right now?
Right.
Unless they are, and then it tends to be more successful.
yeah, it works when they
Yeah,
when they use their own voice.
In saying like the who the hell cares anymore, yes, it's just a normal thing. I also would like to say I think it is important to be an active thinker for anybody that is taking that stuff on, because you do have an audience, and a lot of people in what we do have a young audience, and I think you have a responsibility to be honest and forthcoming with that audience and not just shill anything that comes your way. You know,
Yeah,
things that
right.
you
I
actually
said no to stuff.
the things you would actually back and understand and do a little bit of research in it and make it creative, make it fun,
I've
because
said
that's always
no,
interesting.
and I've said yes, and then regretted saying yes, and
Yeah.
I've said yes, and then
I think
not
there's a
regretted it. But
responsibility.
still, probably shouldn't have done it. But you know, on the point of like how smart the audience is nowadays, and like how it like. And I don't know if you experience this as well, Joven, but like in my experience with the Valley folk, the people who are watching us tend to be very in on the joke, and like they get it. Like there's no, it's like there's a shorthand. There's no need to explain stuff. But like I was thinking about when I was in New York before I left. Lee had written some sketch, and like there was a joke in it about me drinking a lot. It was like that like classic, like I really drink a lot, and I was like, nah, I don't really want the like alcohol joke in there again. I was like, it's kind of whatever. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, if that is the joke that's like getting written, or if there are comments from the audience, or if there's something where it's like that, like going to this brand conversation, there's this thing I think where because there's so much transparency, I personally don't feel tethered to like a brand anymore, which is very nice. I think it makes me feel like I'm not always able to speak totally freely because it's like amorphous and shit. But I was like, if people are noticing that, that's like it's like almost like I learned from the audience something about myself that I wasn't really wanting to like to own.
yeah.
And so
Interesting.
I was sitting there, I was like, for one, why do I care if somebody's making a joke about me drinking so much? And then for two, why are they making that joke in the first place? And it's like both of those are just like, if I want to not be perceived that way, I need to like actually just stop drinking as much as I do, because that's clearly
That's how you're presenting yourself.
and clearly there's something in my actions
It's
that's
breaking through.
Everyone has a brand. Everyone like, and especially when it comes to comedy, like
That's a good
all
point,
jokes
yeah.
are kind of like built out of like some kind of truth.
Another word for it is personality.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
have a personality.
It's a good personality.
Ooh, now he doesn't like the words
Would
being
you
used.
say that Elliot is influenced by his choices?
yes, Gabe.
I would say Elliot is a personality. He's a comedian who is also a personality.
And this is a perfect time to let everybody know Elliot's introspection is brought to you by Crown Royal.
Yes,
Actually, it actually is. It
Flash
actually
ballot.
is a perfect time to do our sponsors.
That is really funny.
I'm not
yeah.
even kidding. Like it's the perfect time for it. So let's do it.
What were you saying? Did you have more? Oh,
No.
No. Did you have anything else?
we've decided you're done, Joe.
It's fine.
Joven, thank you for being here today.
All right, I'll see myself out.
Hey, everybody, we have 3 really great sponsors on the podcast today. All of them are going to help you look good. We're going to start off with Me Undies, one of our favorite. We were talking about them earlier. We kind of gushed.
They're
Me
great.
Undies, they're the best. They use coveted micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than cotton. And if you've never felt this fabric, get ready to experience pure bliss in underwear form. And it's not just underwear form. As we were saying, they're the comfiest damn pants we've ever put on.
We've already done the read, basically.
It's so good.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, you can get any style that's perfectly suited for you. Men and women can each choose from 4 different cuts, all of which are available from classic colors to adventurous prints. This is perfect. Jump on board now because Christmas is coming up. You can get these for yourself, a little Christmas present to you, Christmas present for your significant other or your family. It's great. And they have holiday prints, which is also awesome. They have MeUndies will be releasing a new print every Tuesday, which means you'll have no excuse not to celebrate the holidays right down to your very core and your giblets.
skivvies.
Yeah, baby.
Your gibbles.
And don't stop there. MeUndies is launching their holiday prints in lounge pants and onesies as well. Both are made from the same micromodal fabric as their undies. Get them for you. Get them for your loved one. Also, MeUndies has a great offer for our listeners for any first-time purchasers. When you purchase any MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. No brainer. Get 15% off a pair of the most comfortable undies you will ever try on. And to do that, what you are going to do is you're going to go to MeUndies.com/Valley. That's MeUndies.com/Valley to get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and get this, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com/everybody Valley. Thank you. All right, on to the next one.
Joe, thank you so much. Back to me in the studio. Guys, I just want to talk to you a little bit about, while I have you here, while I have your ear, Mugsy jeans. Now, Mugsy jeans are they're just the most comfortable jeans ever made. Why don't you pair those with that other brand we just did, and you can have yourself a real comfy. Imagine being as comfortable as you possibly can.
At one time. Yeah,
It's
man.
possible.
That's intense.
With Mugsy jeans, and that's no exaggeration. These jeans are literally as comfortable as sweatpants. Let me tell you a little bit about founder Leo. Well, he started Mugsy because he was tired of being uncomfortable in his jeans.
Thank you, Leo.
He spent 5 years working with industry experts to totally redesign and perfect jeans for the regular guy.
Dedication.
Now Mugsy owes their ridiculous comfort to their high-tech fabrics, which include materials like synthetic silk and a bunch of other technical stuff we won't waste your dang time talking about.
Thank you, Mugsy.
We've
All you
tried
need-
these on. You can stretch in them. Make
you
that
gotta-
booty look good.
It does make that booty look good.
I'm wearing jeans right now, and I'm uncomfortable. I think I need some of those jeans.
Yeah, we might need to hook you up with some of these
Joven
comfortable
jumping
jeans.
in, helping out on the ad
I'm not
reads.
sure.
Steve,
Listen,
tell Joven how to get the jeans.
Joven, I'll tell you how to go then. You can go to mugsyjeans.com. That's right, MUGSYJEANS.com to get a pair of the most comfortable men's jeans in the world. And use the code Valley, and guess what? You get $10 off.
Did you say JY? Did I have a stroke just there? Did you spell it wrong?
MUGSYJEANS.com.
Oh, I heard a J. Wow. All right.
Because I spelled the whole thing
Stroke
out.
over. Please continue with this profitable ad read.
Do you
No more
smell
toast.
toast?
No
Or
more
no
toast.
Okay, good. But yes, if you go to mugsyjeans.com and use that code Valley, you'll get $10 off your Mugsy jeans.
Do it.
All you really need to know is that Mugsies are so soft, breathable, ridiculously flexible, and you won't be able to wear any other jeans again. You can literally sleep in these jeans. They even make sitting at a desk all day feel like a dream. They
Ooh,
are that
Joven.
comfortable.
Talking about you.
I'm okay
You could
with
do
this.
yoga in these damn jeans, but look like you're on the farm.
And guys, Mugsy just launched their fall line with 5 new awesome styles, including safe for work chinos.
Hell yeah.
So head to mugsyjeans.com, that's MUGSY jeans.com to get a pair of the most comfortable men's jeans in the world. Use that code Valley for $10 off. That's mugsyjeans.com.
Thank you, Steve. Guys, can I talk to you for a
Fist
little bit?
bump that.
First of all, I can't thank you guys enough for discussing the comfort of clothes and how important that is. In addition to comfort, there's also something called style, and I would like to talk to you about how to have your own personal stylist with the help of Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is an online personal styling service that finds and delivers clothes, shoes, and accessories to fit your body, budget, and lifestyle. I'm wearing them right now, and I love them. Just go to stitchfix.com/valley and tell them your sizes, what styles you like, and how much you want to spend on each item. And here's what's going to happen after that. You're going to be paired with your very own personal stylist who will handpick items and send right to your door. Then you try them on, pay only for what you love. That reminds me, I need to pay for what I got because I have not, and return the rest. Shipping and exchanges and returns, they're always free. There's no subscription required. You can sign up to receive scheduled shipments or get your fix whenever you want. Guys, Stitch's styling fee is only $20, and that is applied toward anything you keep from your shipment. So here's what you're going to do. You can get started right now at stitchfix.com/valley, and you'll get an extra 25% off when you keep all items in your box. That is a stitchfix.com/valley. To get started today, stitchfix.com/valley. Cool.
Nice work, Elliot. Nice work, Joe.
Anyway,
nice work, Joven.
as a result, I'm not drinking as much now. It's just going like, oh, I don't want to drink as much. And it's been really nice.
So now it's time for my topic. So the other day, we were driving somewhere with Joe Beretta in the car, and he had to pee so bad it hurt.
It was real bad.
So my question to you guys is have you ever had to pee so bad it hurt?
Yes.
It hurt.
I was the lone voice of like support for Joe while everyone else was
because
saying, don't
Matt
stop.
and Shane and I were like, what are you guys talking about?
Yes, and we were like, we
You've
have to
never
pee.
been to that
Wait,
point.
it's never hurt you?
No.
Really?
It has never actually hurt to have to pee so bad.
Not like
It has
throbbing
felt,
all you can
it's
think
felt
pain.
incredibly uncomfortable, and it's been like, oh, I gotta fucking pee. It just feels like you got a full bladder, but it doesn't hurt.
I mean, it's
Well,
all consuming.
I
Sorry,
feel
Joe.
like, and maybe you guys can relate to this. There's the pain of needing to pee so bad that it hurts, but also I think needing to poop so bad that actually hurts because sometimes it might be a gas bubble. Sometimes your body's
I've
just doing
never
stuff.
had to poop
That I
so
don't
bad.
have.
I would.
Oh, really?
Never
I've
had
had
that.
a,
Yeah.
I've had a
me
poop
neither.
pain from like there's a bad diarrhea coming.
Oh man, I like poop jokes. Even when it's not a joke, I just think it's funny.
Yeah, it's so funny.
You learn that term, poop pain. That means a bad diarrhea is coming from your doctor.
From
The
your doctor, yeah.
down the
Well,
street.
there was that classic commercial where
So
they
a little
sang
bit
it.
of backstory is that we were on the way. They surprised me for my birthday, and they got a limo for us, and they were taking me to medieval times for the first time. I have good friends. Thank you guys so much. It meant a lot to me.
It's great times.
It was nice to
But
watch
I
some Instagram
also
stories.
I also have not been drinking at all, like for a month and a half. And then on that night, I said, okay, I'll drop my
Partake.
streak. I'll
Imbibe.
partake because you guys are so kind. So I had a couple beers before getting into the limo. Those ran through me. Had a couple more beers on the limo. We are in stop-go traffic. It's rush hour in LA, and you guys are driving very far away to get to medieval times. And I have
we
to
had
go
to
at some point.
to Camelot.
Yeah, and I had to go to the bathroom, and they go,
the
"No,
valley.
we're not pulling over because we have to get somewhere."
You were
on
the
time."
birthday boy, and they didn't stop for you.
It was
Well-
like I had to be like, guys, he was laying down in the limo, Joven, with a bottle
All right.
about to pee,
This is-
and I was
this
like,
is-
this
this
is a
is-
grown man. The window is down. The
Now-
driver can hear everything that's going on,
Yeah.
and all three of them are like, yeah, it's perfectly
So-
normal to pee in the limo. I mean, we're not
This is
peeing in the
unfair.
limo.
There's two people here, and I'm alone here, so I'm bringing in for another
Okay,
person.
you bring him in. I'll
Bullshit.
to,
The majority of it.
This is Matt Rock.
This is Alan Thicke.
That's really
Matt
Alan
isn't
Thicke.
feeling well, so I'm his voicemail answering machine.
Wait, you've got to be kidding
That
me.
is
Really?
really
That is
Alan
Alan
Thicke.
Thicke.
It's the last thing he did before he died.
Literally.
We're not joking.
That is.
No
I,
way.
I was
Yeah.
there. I heard him do it, and then he stole our limo to go do another event at Dodger Stadium or something.
Wait,
That's so funny.
he died right after doing that.
Not
stupid-
long
He
after.
died the second he was done recording it.
It's like, and click.
I
Yeah.
mean, it would feel like the ultimate fulfillment. He'd be done.
Listen,
No, well, okay, well, but
you
let
can
me,
tell your side of the story, and we
Well-
can be sad for the birthday boy who had to
No,
pee
no, no.
real bad.
I just want to let me finish, right?
Okay.
So the pain isn't even a bladder pain. I got so filled up that it was actually hurting like the kidney area.
Yeah,
And I was
that's
like-
crazy.
And I was like, I gotta go. And this has happened 3 times in my life, right? This was one of them. And the 2 other times it happened is when I was at a movie theater as a younger, like college-age man, and I drank too much soda, like a big old large, and I didn't want to miss the end of a movie type of situation. Where I just took in too much liquid and then
Yeah.
held it way too damn long. Steve, I was in so much pain when you guys dropped me off on the off-ramp so I could walk to McDonald's because it was still taking too long.
Yeah, the
I didn't-
traffic was so bad.
I didn't make it to McDonald's. I peed on the corner.
stop
Behind
right
an
there.
electrical
I love
box.
your birthday so much.
Yeah, let's stop right there. Let's explore this, guys. So Joe, in a panic, feeling like he's letting his friends down, who have surprised him, so he's already feeling a certain level of anxiety. He has to pee so bad that organs are hurting, and he is unable to make it to the fast food restaurant, and instead pees where?
In public on the sidewalk behind an electrical box at a very busy intersection.
Like a homeless crazy man.
Well, like
Yeah.
a 9-year-old child that couldn't hold it a little bit longer. Here, the other thing too is the option,
tried.
the option to pee into a fucking bottle was presented to you.
I wasn't
that is
against it.
Not a safe bet though, because you do not know if you will in fact pee more than what that bottle contain.
Well,
can
here's
contain.
well,
That's true, and it would have been so much more. Elliot backed me up. I was going to do it. Other people told me not to.
It's a dignity thing.
Well,
You have,
not
I'm
even a-
sorry.
you
we're
were
having
in-
bullshit.
you were
there's
in
no dignity.
another
involved in
man's
this.
business. It was smart that you did not do that.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is preposterous.
You're a grown
if
man.
you gotta pee, you pee in a bottle, and that's how it goes.
Right.
But here's
so
the
you're
thing.
wrong. So you're objectively
But
wrong.
here's
You
the
hear
thing.
yourself.
Here's the thing, though. We were in insane traffic.
Insane.
Like it was like not normal LA traffic.
No, technically, to get from the valley to where you were going, yeah, no, that's
But it was like
That's
Five
bad.
at that time of day. Yeah,
we were supposed to go an hour later. We moved everything an hour earlier, and it added 2 hours to our whole day.
No, that makes sense.
So it was like we had to like really plan this thing out, and it was like we had it perfect. We set everything perfectly, and
They didn't account for urination.
here's a moment. Here's something that no one brought up that I'm about to bring up. We let you pee before we left.
yeah, but this was
you broke
2
the
hours.
We
seal.
told you.
Seal, yeah, that's a perfectly
We
normal
told
thing, Steve.
you.
That happens.
We told you to pee before we left, empty bladder, and then in the car, it got so bad that we had to pull. We couldn't just pull over off the freeway
Wait,
or
you
anything.
do not bladder shame the man.
Yeah, man.
I'm bladder shaming.
Steve
That's
wasn't
my
drinking.
habit.
Steve,
That's
you weren't
not-
drinking anything.
I was drinking a
You had
Coca-Cola.
a
I was drinking a
Coke. I had
Coca-Cola,
4 beers.
and
Did you
I
pee
had 2 glasses of water at the bar beforehand.
What are
Beer
you
runs
saying?
through you,
Are
man.
you saying that because you are able to hold it, therefore everyone else should?
No. I'm
Okay,
saying
'cause it
That
sounds
is
like
my
you're
golden
saying that.
rule on
I'm
a
saying
plane, though.
out of 5 of us.
Oh, okay.
Out
Yeah.
of 5 of us, 3 of us were like, "What the hell is wrong with you guys?"
I had to pee.
You have to pee sometimes.
I know, but it was a real interesting situation because it was like, just pee in the bottle.
I
Like,
said I would. You told me not to pee in the bottle.
I think you
I
were
think
having
what
a.
happened was Matt and I were okay with you peeing in the bottle, and so was
not pee in
Shane.
the
I think
bottle.
Elliot was not okay.
I'm
Elliot
not.
was
I
the
wouldn't be
right
upset with anybody doing that. We are grown men. We are not children going to prom who are going to pee in the back of a car.
We looked like.
I think
children
we were
going to
learning.
prom.
I think we're learning now that it was Elliot's fault because
There were many lines.
Yes, it was my fault that Joe got relief to pee. I will take full credit for that.
I
Thank you.
would like to mention though that this story goes to prove that you've had many a birthdays, but this has to be a great memory now, only because this is a story that you will forever be able to tell. It's the things that go wrong
Yeah.
that are the most fun to talk about.
Yeah, but
'Cause, like,
also
Totally.
you saw a bunch of knights hitting each other with sticks. That's cool.
Oh, we had a great
but
time.
the time Joe had to pee so badly, he had to pee behind an electrical box. That is
Yeah.
the story that will stick.
Yeah.
Um,
oh man, the moment I felt so much shame, you guys. I saw people crossing the crosswalk, and I was like, I gotta get it. Oh, I know they know what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna go hide behind.
we
my
had a
car.
good time. We ended up having a good time. We got to medieval times, and we were late for Joe's knighting ceremony, which was kind of shitty, but it's okay. We'll do it next time.
saw that
knighting ceremony.
Listen, you saw the end of the knighting
so
ceremony. Listen,
stupid.
if I had seen the
Trying to
end,
make me feel
if I had
bad.
seen the end
Yeah,
of The
it's-
Dark Knight
it
Rises,
was
I'd be
worth
like,
it.
this is a bad movie.
You would have
If I'd
sacrificed.
seen the end
Steve,
of Toy Story 3, I'd be like, this is a bad movie.
What
If
you
see
were
all of Dark Knight
proposing-
Rises,
what you were
that's a
proposing-
bad movie.
If I saw the end of The Dark Knight,
Steve.
I'd say this is a bad movie.
What you are saying is that the 45 minutes of time that we still had to be in that limo, sacrificing that amount of time on a guy's birthday because you want to see him get knighted is not
Which
fair.
is also
That's
still
not-
a Joe experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is exactly. So it's more important that Joe feels comfortable and is having a good time the entire time.
And he would have if he had peed in the
And-
bottle.
and there's a
if you had let him
different
pee in the
timeline.
bottle.
Yeah,
So
Joe-
anyway,
Joe
we
was
ended
not
up
gonna
having
do
a
that.
great time at medieval times.
No, but-
The bottom line is you
Oh,
didn't want
yeah.
Joe to pee in the bottle. You wanted to pee too. So it was more of a
No.
it was more of a selfish.
First of all,
it
I
was-
did not stop it. It was happening. Joe
If
was
I
down
remember
there, and I was
correctly,
like looking down.
Elliot- you were not the only one that peed in that McDonald's. There was other people.
Shane peed?
That's
I
true.
peed
People
in the-
took the opportunity to.
You're
but
all welcome. You're all very, very welcome.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
Because of Joe.
Matt and
no
I
one
stayed
else
in the
had
car
to
because we
lie on
both
the
didn't
ground.
have to pee.
You didn't stop to
But
get
we had a
cheeseburger?
great time, and we ate food around horses, and it was a wonderful evening.
Medieval
And-
it was kind of like, it was really fun. It was my first time at Medieval Times. We went on a Tuesday, so it was kind of like the pathetic night. There was like nobody in the stands. It
Even
was
better.
us and a couple other people, and it
But
felt,
and everyone was a VIP.
Yeah,
we
it-
thought we were special.
it felt a little antiquated. Like, good for them for holding on for a while. But I bet on a Friday night when that place is bumping, it's probably really fun when like one half of the arena loves a certain color night, and then there's another. Like, I bet you it's pretty freaking crazy.
Please send me that.
It's this outside. Stevie, we get there and Stevie immediately was like, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna go outside and smoke.
Let's
and
go
then
outside,
It became a
please.
mission, and then it felt like for me the memory of that time. I'm sure it was due to the amount that I had consumed, but like. It felt like that stretch of time was
like an
definitely an
hour.
alternate universe.
Yeah.
It felt like
Yeah.
I was like I knew there was Shane and it was like super fun, but like when it was done, I was like, okay, I was like, back to
How
back. It was
long
very,
was the
like
whole
surreal.
show? How long was it?
It was 2 hours.
It was so
It was
long,
2
dude.
hours.
I felt like we were there for 8 hours.
See,
It's a 2-hour
yeah,
show.
It felt
I've
like
never
8
done
hours.
Medieval Times. I've done across the street the pirate.
The
dinner
Pirates
show.
one I've heard is amazing.
Yeah,
what they said,
It's
yeah.
a lot of fun. It's really good.
We got to do the Pirates.
And
Yeah, man.
during the Halloween, just to plug them, they've got vampirates.
We were talking. This is what Matt said. We went to a bar afterwards to celebrate Joe's birthday, to end the celebration of Joe's birthday, and
He peed there too.
He did pee there too, a lot. I was worried, and it hurt then too.
I do keep an eye on my
but-
friend's pee, and it is a lot. It is.
I'm just worried about my friend. And so we were out in the patio. I was out in the patio with some friends, and we were talking about Medieval Times. And these two strangers joined in, and we're talking about Medieval Times. And then this complete stranger just pipes in and is like, "Have you gotten to the pirate one, man?" And I was like, "No, I have not. I've heard it's amazing." He's
That
like,
was
"Yeah,
me in
yeah,
that
yeah.
trench coat yelling at
That
you
one
guys.
has titties.
Wow.
That's the one you want to go to." And I was like, "What?"
Was it the same guy who, when we were filming the Wes Anderson thing, screamed out "Gay Pride"?
The guy with a son.
The guy
on a
with his
trike.
son, with his child. Was he with his child again?
He was with child.
Yeah, it was in the bar. He had like a drink and
That
a
was so
baby.
weird. Dude, Steve and I had a random angel man interaction yesterday. We went and did this,
Oh yeah,
like-
we did have an angel man.
We went and did this
interaction.
scavenger hunt. Long story short, we're doing a scavenger hunt
That was very fun.
with a bunch of
ready for
other
that video.
influencers. And the whole
Heck
thing
yeah.
is we're running around Culver City in Los Angeles and going to
Landmarks.
from
Culver
the
City
studio,
landmarks.
Culver City landmarks. But anyways, they make this scavenger hunt with clues and stuff. And the first clue goes over our head. We're kind of like, we don't know what this is, and we
Started off strong.
and out of nowhere, this guy just goes, "Hey!" And we look to the right, and he's like, "You guys doing a scavenger hunt?" And we're like,
No, he said, "Are you guys doing a Culver City, scavenger,
scavenger
hunt?"
And he gets excited. And this guy's
Was
like
he a plant?
40, a very interesting, weathered-looking man. And
Yeah.
we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, wow, what's the clue?" And we read it, and he's like, "Well, that's Kirk Douglas."
That's the Kirk Douglas Theater
And that's-
across the street that way.
and we're like, "Thanks." And then we turn to go, and we turn around, and he's gone.
Okay,
And
That's
first
like,
of all, hold on. I don't know why you haven't put 2 and 2 together
It
yet.
was Kirk Douglas.
that was Joe from the future coming back.
yeah. Holy
He had to
crap.
put on a
You
whole
needed
outfit.
to win this.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the Kirk Douglas
makeup.
Theater. I'd hang out, but I really gotta pee.
And it would be future Joe.
hurts a little.
Future Joe from like 5 years from now.
yeah, exactly. Oh shit, I forgot.
Just weathered.
I have to sneak away, but I appreciated being on this podcast with you,
know,
Joven.
I love you so much. You're one of my
love
favorite
you too,
people
buddy.
in real life and on the internet.
We're, like,
so
right
thank you
here.
for being
Dude, Joven,
you.
thank you.
Yeah,
He's
Thank
gonna
you.
stay
yeah,
with
you were
us.
one of the best. Only my favorite person. The
gonna be
only
awkward
one
when
good
Steve
person on the
leaves.
Valley folk.
Wow,
Just
thank you,
Hands
Joven.
hands
out
down.
here.
That's
But
very
for real,
nice.
I love everything about you.
This would hurt
Thank
more
you,
if Joe and
Joven.
I didn't agree.
We should let's play games and stuff
Hey,
and
guess
hang
what?
out.
I live in the Valley as well.
We'll come here all the
So,
time.
I'll
Once we
hang
get
out.
our streaming set up at some point,
One
years
day.
from now, you should come play with us.
Yeah.
All right, I love you all. Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Have fun. Whatever you're doing, Steve.
Who's gonna honk the horn?
Yeah, you know how to. Uh-oh.
Okay, bye. We'll see you later. All right.
Is he gonna?
Joven, do you have a topic?
He
Did you-
actually needs to go back in time to the actual to the
He's like, I
scavenger
gotta go.
hunt.
I gotta go give somebody a clue.
It's like I need to warn Joe.
Goodbye.
It's Kirk Douglas.
Is he gonna leave that door up? You
You
gonna
gonna
leave
leave that door open like a monster? Yeah, you son of a bitch. Joven, do you have anything that you wanted to discuss today?
How excited are you guys about Disney Plus?
Ooh, let's talk about it. I think it's a dumb name.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think it's safe.
I think
it's
it's
Disney-ish,
it's,
right?
Yeah.
What else
Normally
were they
there's
gonna
just
do?
like it's like, oh, of course you call it that. Like Disney Plus was like, okay, I didn't see it coming. It's nothing like exciting.
They could have called it the Magic Kingdom, and I would have been like, yeah, it is. That's cool. Here we go.
Yeah, I wanted them to call it like the DDP, like Disney Digital Platform, and just yell DDP.
That's pretty good.
Uh,
what about
DDP 's
like
cool.
Walt's house?
Walt's House.
like,
Or the
That's a little
vault?
creepy.
What if they call it the vault?
Vault. That's not bad. They're
I think
so
you just
big on
nailed it.
branding.
It
Yeah,
should
that
have
would've
been
been
the
nice.
vault.
Yeah, it's so big on branding. They have the Disney Vault, and so if they don't have the Disney Vault classics in the Disney Vault, then
I
Disney
think
fans
it's
will
an
get upset.
incredibly brilliant move, and I'm saying this with a little bit of ignorance. I assume I know 100% what they're doing, but why don't you educate us really quick?
What's really exciting about this versus like a Netflix is I do think that they are rebranding digital distribution in the sense that we are getting Tom Hiddleston reprising his role as Loki in a series.
In a series on it, right?
Yeah, so I think that's given it the element of like a cinematic element, but in a show form. And there are some networks that do that really well, like HBO or something, and even some of the Netflix shows are like really good. But I think that this is going to like raise the bar what Disney is capable of doing with their long form content, and being able to have that in the same place where we're going to get 2 Star Wars live
That's
action
what I was going to
shows.
say. To be clear, we're getting this is Disney.
Disney.
It's everything Marvel. It's the Star Wars universe. They bought Fox, correct? That went through.
I believe in January it finally
Right.
happens.
So that's like Simpsons and all that other stuff that they used
Yeah,
to
I didn't
have.
even
Like,
think about
there's
that.
so much
There's
crap
gonna be
that's
a
going to
lot
be
to go
on
on
this
there.
platform.
And I know that the argument is like, oh, it's just another thing to spend money on. I think this is going to replace a lot of things, which is kind of scary and kind of exciting for them. And like, hey, it's a giant corporation, and sometimes you gotta see them win because this
It's
this
a
one's
massive
cool.
corporation.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just the results of being a monopoly. It's like that. Well, if you remember that they bought half of the entertainment industry, then you're gonna have a pretty
Yeah,
cool
you're gonna
streaming
have a
service.
big thing. And so
Muppets is a Disney property.
Yep. I'm just
Like-
so excited for the things that they can do with it. Based on already what they're doing, like with Marvel, they have announced that the Loki show is one of the things, but they've hinted at other Marvel characters getting their own show on this. And again, it's like these like AAA actors getting these Marvel shows. It's like that's cool.
Did you say? I heard you say real quick the live action Star
look this
Wars
up.
shows.
Yes.
shows. Is that a thing? That's
There
happening?
are 2 live action Star Wars shows, one of which is called The Mandalorian, being done by Jon Favreau, one of my favorite actor
Dope.
directors.
Yeah, amazing.
And it does follow someone that's to dumb it down, the Boba Fett armor kind of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
tell
right,
me the
right.
time and you guys have ever been like, man, screw you, Jon Favreau. Never.
Never.
He's so good in everything.
And man, did you see his cameos in Friends? I loved his character.
He's so funny.
Very charming. Dude, the live action Star Wars thing, that sounds for some reason that would be what would make me as a consumer sign up.
And they've already announced that there is a second one based on, and I'm going to forget the character and the actor's name, but the male protagonist in Rogue One. We're getting a show starring him.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping.
We're getting a
because-
lot of stuff that nobody asked for, but we're getting it.
I'll take it.
And that was kind of
Yeah.
a problem with Solo, but I love Solo. I just say that right now. But
I like Solo too.
Solo's really good.
I didn't love. I. You know what? Maybe I did love it.
It's my favorite Star Wars movie.
I
and that's
wouldn't
an
say
unpopular
the
opinion.
favorite.
It's my favorite. That's above Empire Strikes Back.
I loved Rogue
Wait,
One.
what is?
I loved Rogue One.
Solo.
Solo's above Empire Strikes
Yeah.
Back for you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I felt like that was a
Bold
movie.
take.
Yeah, very
That was a
bold.
movie that was like, I think it was made for Star Wars fans. There's a lot of people that's like, why do they keep showing Han's dice? Like, who cares about his dice? Why does the dice have to be a thing? I'm like, because it's Han's dice, man. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Rogue One was really good. And I'm hoping that we get K2SO, which was voiced by one of my favorite actors, Alan Tudyk.
So, yeah.
I hope that he comes
Tudyk's
back
great.
for it.
Yeah, man. I
So
think we're on
already
the same page.
2
Yeah.
live action Star Wars shows with 1 confirmed Marvel show.
you
Plus
know-
everything else Disney.
The what I wanted out of Rogue One, the prequel that I wanted was what were the 2 Asian guys' names? The cool like the,
The blind
duo.
guy?
No, the duo from Rogue One. The
Yeah.
one that thought he had the Force,
Yeah,
but he didn't.
the forces.
Oh, yeah, the
forces
blind-
with-
the
yeah,
What are
blind
their
guy and
names?
the-
I loved those 2. That was the backstory
And
where
that-
I was like,
and
give
that
me their
actor,
story.
Rogue One,
that
yeah.
actor. You know,
The thing with
can't
Star
remember his
Wars, to not to like derail the conversation from Disney Plus, but like I feel like
I'll bring it back.
Star Wars is like the only property I feel like where I personally watch it and I really don't assess whether or not any of it's good or bad. Like I just feel
You get lost.
each movie. Yeah, I'm like, let's do this. Like I'm like,
You're
even
in.
if it's not that great, like Solo has its problems, or like it dips or whatever. I mean, in my opinion. And then like I just don't care. Like I just love Star Wars for some, but I'm not like a.
I think that's okay. That's you being your inner child, just
And that
enjoying
is-
freaking
and
movies.
Not caring.
Whether
being like,
someone
all right.
likes the movie or not, if it can accomplish that, it has done wonders.
Yeah. And Star Wars for me, even the new ones, like I think they get crapped on a lot, and I do think they
It's
can get
50-50.
dragged. But yeah,
I liked them.
I actually didn't like Last Jedi. I thought Last Jedi was kind of of the
Really?
any Star Wars.
I thought
was
Last
kind of
Jedi had some super awesome set pieces that are just stuck in my mind. Like when she light speed kills the frickin' ship. It's
Looks
so
beautiful.
cool. All right, so what else is coming for Disney Plus? We have a rebooted version of High School Musical franchise.
Okay, let's start with that.
It'll also be a hub for animated content,
loved
including the next season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, which is cool, and a new original animated series based on Pixar's Monsters Inc., which is my favorite
good.
Pixar franchise. I love Monsters Inc.
great.
Exclusive movies include Noelle, a Christmas movie about Santa's daughter, played by Anna Kendrick,
Oh, I'll watch it. God, I love Anna
and
Kendrick.
Togo, a movie about the 1925 Gnome Serum run starring Willem Dafoe. Who doesn't like Willem Dafoe?
here's a prediction. Disney launches this. It is a Netflix competitor, the only Netflix competitor that has a chance.
This
5
also
years from
says
now-
they're pulling all of their Netflix content.
Yeah.
So here's what's going to happen.
Which
5
is
years
most
from
of it.
now, Netflix will be, because they're in debt, they're going to be absorbed by Disney, and Disney is then going to inherit House of Cards. They're going to inherit all the Netflix original
boy.
shows, all that shit. That's mine.
You see Netflix making the move now that obviously they have a lot of originals, and I think it's going to go into because they are now starting their own studio to be able to create them. Because right now it is for Netflix, they just purchase productions that are already done and then license it out. That's how they got Jungle Book, or the new Jungle Book that Andy Serkis is directing. So they might move in that direction and just be a completely different entity in 5 years.
You mean like House of Cards was made and then they purchased House of Cards, or do you
Yes.
mean like wow, really?
that is not a Netflix studio.
Really? For sure?
Because they spent like $4 million.
95%.
All right.
Interesting. I'm sure. Yeah.
At least maybe with season 1 and then season 2 and 3.
Then they
and-
pick it up.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
to
yeah.
your point, they're like we're taking it in house now.
Yeah. But yeah, they are creating their own studio
cool.
to just make new stuff. So I think Netflix will change and become a completely different beast, which is a good thing. But yeah, just this. There's also a live action, and this is weird but kind of cool. A live action Lady and the Tramp being released. I think it's one of the launch titles also.
Oh, interesting.
And for Disney fans, that's kind of a
And you know
neat
what
thing.
else is under their banner? And it'll be because I think what you're predicting makes sense. But what else is underneath that banner is ABC, so all ABC programming, and also ESPN is also a Disney thing.
Yep.
So my thought is that we also could be potentially looking at an antitrust lawsuit before they take over the world.
There's gonna be a lot of
Like that
The people are
monopoly
going to
has
try.
to be broken
Well, that's
down.
one of the reasons why. So with the ABC purchase, or I'm sorry, the ABC purchase? No. With the Fox purchase, they couldn't get Fox News and they couldn't get Fox Sports because that actually would be illegal for them to have.
Oh, so that was like carved out of the
Yeah.
deal? Is that
Yeah. So like they landed on the chance sport, and then the little Monopoly guy's like, "Nah, man, that's Monopoly. You can't do that."
It's like we everyone back in the day used to be like, I wish cable wasn't, you didn't need all these channels. But now the opposite. It's like, I wish you could just choose your channels, and now you can kind of choose your channels, but you have to choose these massive platforms, and you end up paying a crap ton of money.
It all
Still
adds
less
up in a
money.
different way.
Still less money than because I did the math recently, and
Has to be,
I
yeah.
think an average cable bill with like less than all of the works, but still more than what you normally get, is around 100, 120, and
That just seems ridiculous.
cable is insanely expensive because cable companies will also try to link it up with phone and other things.
Get that
Internet.
package.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it does add up pretty quickly just for the cable.
That's so much.
But I would say anybody who complains about the entertainment that they're like, we are in a golden age of entertainment. So it's
100%.
like if we pay roughly the same amount that people have been paying for 20 years, and we're getting the type of shows we're getting right now,
Worth it.
like we are making
Right.
a lot. Like it's more bang for your buck. I think.
And it's not like if you missed it on Monday night at 8, like you won't be able to see it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch the last 3 episodes of Game of Thrones. I got it.
Entertainment like in your lifestyle is a very nice.
We're very gone from the days of and who knows if you ever did it, like actually channel surfing and accidentally finding something. Like that's not something that happens anymore.
Man, there was a study. I don't want to get all nerdy on it, but there was like a study that if you hear a song on the radio, you're more excited to listen to it than whether you have it on CD, because it is that sense of chance.
Oh, it's that discovery factor.
Yeah.
It's like you won the lottery.
Yeah, or like when you see a movie on like USA, it's
Like
like
if Batman
Transformers.
Returns,
You
Oh,
wouldn't
sweet.
put on
Yeah.
the DVD to watch Transformers, but it's like, oh, it's on TBS.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
let it in
I'll
my
watch
house.
Yeah, it's that serendipity moment that makes you feel good. Like, oh, I got it, and that's kind of the same thing behind those gross YouTube videos where adults are opening up like packages of toys, and they have billions of views because they're just giving the prize to the viewer.
Yeah.
And little kids, it like they stare at it. It's all about the prize. It's the same thing. It's weird. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've just always been fascinated with cutting the cable for like the last 5-6 years, and just whatever Disney does next, I'm super excited.
You're on board.
I discovered the great holiday bake-off or whatever it is on Food Network the other night, and I got pretty high and watched this guy named, somebody sent me his
I
info.
just watched
His
all of
name is
it.
like Teddy. He's like a chef, a pastry chef, and he's a super eccentric, hilarious looking dude, and I just got super into it. And the Food Network knows what they're doing, man. Like these I tell you, these Christmas themed cookies they're a delight. And this man made a gingerbread cookie with a little curved hand that hooked into the coffee mug.
Oh my god.
And yeah,
oh my god.
This
it
must
is-
have been blowing your mind.
it was. It just filled me with like Christmas joy, and I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna watch a lot of Christmassy cooking shows. But Food Network is something that I wish there was more of on the platforms right now.
All right, I'm
But
going to
it's
parlay
always
Joven's conversation into my topic, which we can just lightly cover because I don't know how much you guys have seen of either of these things that I want to talk about real quick. But I
can't wait.
watched 2 movies for the first time. One took a little while. I didn't do it because I think I was scared of emotion, and then the other one I'm just really glad I fell into, and it was starring Nicolas Cage. So first, I saw Her.
Shocking
for the
that those
first
weren't
time.
the same film.
Oh,
I watched.
Her's cool. Sorry, I stepped
I
on
want
it.
to see her.
Her. Oh, you haven't seen
I
it?
haven't seen her.
I'm asking. I'm like, oh, you haven't seen it, and I watched it like
Yeah.
last week. It's so good. It's such an exploration on just like how humans just need connection, and
I
maybe
think I was
it doesn't
scared to
matter.
watch it.
So was I.
Yeah, I was just like, it's a little too real.
And afraid of being sad, and it is sad, but it's also beautiful, and it's such a journey. It's the reason I brought my mustache back because they highlight the mustache so well in that movie.
You didn't watch it on a plane, did you?
No, I watched it
Okay.
by myself in the house. It's really good.
I watched Dunkirk on a plane.
Did you cry?
Pretty dumb move. I still liked it, but yeah, it was bad.
Well, I just found out recently that if you watch, because of the altitude, if you watch a movie on the plane, you are more likely to feel emotion.
I get
Oh.
incredibly
Yeah.
emotional when I fly.
So
I get
whenever
like
s-
teary-eyed for no
Whenever
reason.
someone tells
so you're
me,
horny
yes.
and crying.
Yeah.
I get
at the
horny.
same
Oh, and that's
time.
the other thing, Joan. I get super horny on flights, like
Really?
crazy horny. Yeah.
Interesting.
He just
That's-
cries and masturbates.
I cry and I masturbate.
Unfortunate
Yeah.
at the
I'm not
same
allowed on
time.
Delta, United. I'm still good on Southwest.
JetBlue lets you do anything.
JetBlue doesn't
Yeah,
care.
that's
Yeah,
great.
JetBlue encourages it.
First class and Virgin, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. That's one day. Fingers crossed. Her is fantastic, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, and like I walked away from it being sad for many reasons, but also tearing up because it's so beautiful. Because it really is just a commentary on, as humans, as people that are just floating through existence, all we're really yearning for is a legitimate connection to something that understands you, that empathizes with you, and if it comes from a freaking phone or another human or a tree,
Cam girl.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it brings you a little bit of happiness.
No, it doesn't, Joe.
And, it's so good.
We had this conversation a little bit about like what humans are craving and the connection and all that stuff. And I was talking about, like, somebody said recently that most of our experience, I don't know where it was. Somebody said most of our experiences in life are internal world. So we're in our head and we're kind of half experiencing these things. And you were like, I was like, the problem is like making the external world even happen, like engaging with the world around you. And so you end up not watching stuff like movies or reaching out to people or saying hi to people at a party and like
Answering the phone when somebody calls.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. You just stay and you're like, da-da-da. And so then on the heels of this conversation, Joe, you were like, do you want to go down and see if they have any kind of like business discounts for the gym over there to see if like we can maybe get a gym membership and like really go for it, and maybe we can like work out in the morning. I was like, yeah, sure. And we got really excited about it. It didn't happen. And it was like a real-time thing of us and at least I can only speak for myself, but in my mind I was like, that would be a cool thing to do. And I got the satisfaction of doing it without ever having to do it. And now
You got the
I don't have a
dopamine rush,
membership.
and now you're done.
Yeah,
You
and
got
I'm
the
done.
happiness from it.
But we'll feel that rush again when we talk about it one more time. Another thing that came to my mind while watching it and assessing my feelings after it was over was the concept of. I mean, it's old enough now. I don't want to give it away for Joven too much, but the concept of
You're like, I'm not
as
gonna watch it.
as people as a human, I think we don't realize enough that when we fall in love or like or get attracted to something, a lot of the times what you're getting attracted to, whether it's a person or a thing, yes, please, is a moment. So it's like when two people fall in love, they are falling in love with the version of what those people are in that moment.
Interesting.
You know, and moment and
Interesting.
people and things evolve constantly. And you know what a true miracle is? Is people that stay together for a very long time,
Yeah.
because those are two people evolving and changing. And for you to evolve your love from the moment where it started and then to be able to appreciate
intertwine
and
with it
love
still.
every single new moment that is created by that person, while also
Joe's
having
gonna cry right now.
Oh, it's
but
beautiful.
also having
It's beautiful.
yourself as you're evolving and the things that you love and like change. It's so hard to maintain friendships for life.
It
and
is.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine where him and I are like post 30 now. And we're like, here's the thing. Normally around like 26 to 28, you're past your early 20s where you're just hanging out with whoever just to have people around you.
Yeah.
So then you start
We've
to like
talked
figure out
about
who
that.
you are. But then like and then you start to like shed people around you because you're like, I don't need to. And that's why there's so many older people who don't have friends anymore. They're just like, oh, I know the Joneses next door. But like if you can have and still have a group of friends into your late 20s and more importantly into your 30s, that is such a rare thing
And
to
that you
actually
want to
find.
be, you pick
Yeah,
up the phone when
100%.
they call.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's and to sometimes make the effort or just to have that. It's not an easy thing to do. So if you can find it, you keep it and you hold on to it.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you hope you evolve with it. I have
Yeah.
two friends from first grade that are still my friends.
Nice.
And when I think about it on the heels
They're
of
still in
thinking
first
like
grade?
this, yeah, they're the best. They never got out.
Cool.
But it's beautiful that we still have a connection. And I feel like the connection that I have with them, thank God, isn't based on what we did in high school back in
Yeah.
the day. It's like
It's
based
not all
on who we
catch-up.
are now.
Yeah.
And
It's all
that's
rolled
I think
up,
that's so
nudie mags.
fucking hard to find.
Yeah, man, and the marriage thing too, which is friends, I feel like I'm very kind of like shoot from the hip. Like if I don't, I feel like friends come and go, and especially in adult life, and the deck gets reshuffled, and it's perfectly normal and healthy for that to happen. But obviously, keep it if it's good and nice. But like the marriage thing, man, like I'm so genuinely excited. Both of you guys are married, so both of you know the struggles and the pitfalls. I myself never been married, love the idea.
Wait, what?
And so, but I am so excited because I think what you're talking about, Joe, is this really cool thing of like you accept that it's not everything you want, and it starts as like for sure it's everything you want.
Yep.
And 100% of the time, the
Yeah.
stage of growth love where it's like, oh, this is like benefit, is like that time where you're like, oh, this part of you sucks, and I'm still gonna stay with you, and this part of me sucks, and you're still gonna stay with me, and like that, there's nothing more beautiful than
You know what that is? I feel like it's like falling in love with the person. That's where it starts. But then like you really have to be, and I think this takes self-reflection, you got to be in love with the journey too,
That's-
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
get excited
because like
about
you
it.
might have like a fight, but like that's a part of the road, and it's like, all right, we're gonna grow and we're gonna learn from this. And
give up and when you give up that idea, I mean, I know I struggle with this because consciously I say all that shit, but like then in relationships, if it's not hitting that like perfect puzzle piece,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm out. But
well,
like,
which is also important to note, because if something isn't working or if you aren't happy, you can't think like, oh, maybe I'll be happy tomorrow. There's definitely more to it.
yes, especially at the up top,
Yeah.
when you're like when everything is fresh. But yeah, that journey and that like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and like I say that, but then I wind up like, not. I still don't know what that looks like, so it's a scary. I mean, I guess I do kind of know what it looks like, but I don't know. The journey is a nice way of thinking of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. It's the death of the idea that everything's gonna be perfect, and it's like because I'm reading this book, but he,
Thomas the Train.
yeah, in it,
I think I can.
in it, he talked about Nietzsche. It's a fictionalized version of him. He talks about how like what happens is you grow up, you have your religion, you have your whatever that you believe in, and then at some point psychologically, usually in your late teens or your early 20s, you experience a death of whatever your god is, and so you experience it. And this is Nietzsche, whatever. I would take it or leave it. But then what happens 9 times out of 10, and I think I've fallen into this trap, is you sort of leave your world, you sort of grow or whatever, and you go out into the world, and what happens is you end up just replacing that god with like whatever else. So a lot of people, it's like numbers and views and money, and then for people, I tend to be more like it's more romantic oriented. So in the back of my mind, even though I know that like it's not going to work out perfectly, my actions are still such that
You desire perfect.
I believe, there's still a part of me that's like, oh, there's ultimate salvation in a relationship. There's ultimate salvation from a woman who's going to just like completely get me and all that. And that is something that like I'm not ready to give up the illusion of that because I think it'll happen naturally, but I know it's there. I know it's like a false thing. That's like
That
Someone call you a romantic.
that would be
this
no.
This is such a real moment, and it's such a great and deep way of thinking. How the hell are you about to talk about a Nicolas Cage movie following that?
We're just
that
gonna,
led to such a beautiful.
we're gonna gloss over it real quick, and I'm just gonna say that holy crap, Mandy is so much fun.
Oh, is it?
Do your 2-word review.
Liked it. Dude, Mandy is awesome. It's this love letter to like 80s rock movies and stuff like that. It's super fun, super violent, and what I took away from that, other than it just being really cool and a total trip, is that we have all these like throwback love letter movies to like even Stranger Things, stuff like that, series that are like going back to the 80s and retro
La La
things.
Land.
And some people complain about it, and that's fine. And I would complain when they're not done well. But so much is being done well because what they're doing is that they're taking these genres which were not perfected back then. They were
not at all.
they just were back then.
Yeah.
So what has
And it
happened?
spoke to a generation.
Yeah.
They're like, "All right, we'll take
They've
it."
had 20, 30 years to simmer. Everything has been tightened and they're better.
Yep.
And all of these love letter throwbacks are just like little perfect versions of what was, and it's so much fun.
We're
Watch
having a great
Mandy.
time.
It's so good.
As much as Nick Cage can become like a trope, and people, it's like, oh yeah, I love Nick Cage, he's so crazy. But then they won't watch any of those crazy movies. If you liked Mandy, you need to give Mom and Dad a
I
chance.
saw Mom and Dad.
So good.
Everybody loves Mom and Dad. I don't
You
love
like
it as
it?
much as you,
Okay, it was so
but it's
good.
fun.
I love the
idea.
concept, the
I love
foreshadowing.
The concept.
Joe
in the
also
movie.
didn't like Godfather, so we can't.
That's not
okay.
true at all. I liked Godfather a lot. Mom
Joe
and Dad,
Beretta did not like Godfather.
You heard it.
Any
That
of
is a
them.
fact.
He thought there was zero good qualities.
I
to
did
those films.
think that Godfather was more entertaining than Godfather 2, and I know
Does.
that's blasphemous for some people.
I've never seen
I think
either
it's a
one.
forever.
of
I
them.
think you're wrong, but I think it's a
Do you know what Mom and Dad is about?
No, I have not heard of that
Oh,
movie.
you have to see this movie because the concept's so weird but great.
Cool.
So something just happens, and they don't need to explain. They don't,
Like in The Happening.
yeah, but slightly better.
Just a hair better.
But what winds up happening is every mother and father
On the
on the planet all of a sudden want to kill their children,
And start doing it.
and
Yeah,
it's not always like
Yeah, I
you
definitely
might,
want to see this.
like, and you'll see the interactions where like I won't spoil endings, but like some of the kids like wind up going to their friend's house, and like the parents aren't trying to kill them; they're just trying to kill
Their
their own
own
children.
kids.
And
Is it a
like
population control thing?
no,
We were talking about this with like apparently fertility rate is down right now, and I was like, I wonder if there's like a
The world is fighting
evolutionary,
back,
like
yeah.
our DNA is
Interesting.
somehow.
just watch it. There's so many great moments where you might not even pick up on it as it's happening, and then the moment happens, and you're like, "Oh my god, why didn't we see this coming?"
Cool, but it's
so-
fun. It's a fun.
Yeah,
movie.
It's a very fun movie.
It's not
Take
like-
that concept that Joven just presented to you.
Yes.
Now, on top of that, take a big fat layer of Nick Cage
Yeah.
at his most Nick
Oh,
Cages.
the most Nick Cage.
like crazy, like up to
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
11 kind of
Yep.
thing.
And
Cool.
Yep.
he's partnering up with his wife to kill all of their children.
Yeah. I think I do need to see this, guys. I think you're right.
It's a tonight thing, and text me afterwards. It's that good.
Speaking of parental films, I was thinking of Mother, and I didn't.
Mother was horrible. I
Mother's another
absolutely
movie
hated
that.
I'm afraid to watch it.
Don't.
I
That's
love
not worth
horror
your time,
movies.
Joe. That won't add to
See,
your.
that makes me want to watch it.
No, it's not even like, especially when it comes to horror movies, where you're like, oh, it's so bad, there's a good quality to it. It was so heavy-handed and so stupid and so like someone was trying. They had a message. I'm sorry.
Wow, we hate it for different reasons.
This movie made me so angry. I was like, oh, I get what you're doing. Oh, we're just gonna do this for 2 hours. Okay, make it stop. I don't know.
It was a make it stop movie. It got worse and worse, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And I got
like
into
they
an
play on a-
argument with the person I saw it with directly after.
Darren Aronofsky.
Darren. He wanted me to see it. He was proud. But yeah, no, in the sound design, that was crazy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, who cares? This has been fun, guys.
was
Good
really
talk.
fun.
Mandy,
Hey.
I'll check out Mandy, and I'll check out Mom
Check out
and
Dad.
Mom
Make
and
a-
Dad's what's it called? I've never
Mom and
completely
Dad.
missed
Mother.
it.
Yeah, I think it's Mom and Dad.
Hey
I'll
guys,
find
if
it.
you're
I bet I could find it by Google.
if you're listening to this on our YouTube channel, let us know in the comments what your favorite Nick Cage at his most Nick Cageiest moment is ever.
Left Behind.
I've never.
Wait, was he in Left Behind?
They remade
Yeah.
Left Behind
Yeah.
without Kirk Cameron and with Nicolas Cage.
Oh my god.
He's a pilot, and the rapture happens.
Ah,
I haven't
so
seen it, but it's
good.
on my list. The moment it's on
Put
Netflix,
Mom and Dad ahead of that, but you should probably still watch Left
Okay, cool.
Behind.
Cool. Deal.
Guys, thanks for checking it out. As always, you can help support us over at patreon.com/thevalleyfolk. You will get early access to this podcast. You'll get the full video podcast at certain tiers. It's really cool. A lot of bloopers and bonus content from our YouTube stuff, merch discounts and all that jazz. What else,
MDs,
Elliot?
ticket discounts, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Our show December 16th. Get tickets now. You can Google it and you find it. It's beautiful. And Joven, where can people find it?
YouTube.com/the Jovenshire, producing content on there all of the time. I talk about movies, superheroes, games, all things geek culture in one place. It's great.
Joven, I feel like I've gotten to know you better during this hour, and it's been really nice.
I've enjoyed it. We should hang out more.
That'd be great, man.
Come stop by, man.
Yeah, come hang out.
Okay.
Watch
All
Mom
right.
and Dad.
I'm gonna blow a kiss to the camera. That's it.
We don't know what to do now, Kate.
Okay,
None
what
of
do we
us
do?
have ever had to do this.
What do we do, Kate?
How do we turn it back?
I thought we did with the.
There's a
I
lot
thought
of
the kiss
goodbyes.
insinuated that we were
What
saying
happens
goodbye.
after a
Done, yeah.
kiss?
Kate,
I've never
goodbye.
been after a kiss.